Hello everyone. Let's start our next topic, which is called glomerulus, and we'll discuss JG apparatus. So glomerulus is basically a specialized network of capillaries, which is surrounded by Bowman capsule. And JG apparatus basically consists of three main types of cells. Number one, JG cells. Number two, macula densa. And third is mesangial cell. So what are JG cells? So this is, let me show you. So juxtaglomerular cells, and this is basically afferent arteriole. This is afferent arteriole. So blood is moving into the afferent arteriole, and then this is all glomerulus. And then this is efferent arteriole, blood is moving out. This is efferent arteriole. Because of this cross-section area, we can also see distal convoluted tubule, which is this. So these JG cells, they are basically specialized smooth muscle cells that are lining the wall of afferent arteriole. So I will use a different color to show you. So the wall of the afferent arteriole is surrounded by these JG cells. And what are the function of these JG cells? They detect changes in flow of blood pressure. They will detect. So let's say if the blood pressure is low, the JG cells will detect it in the afferent arteriole, and they will secrete renin. What is the function of renin? Renin will eventually increase aldosterone. It has many different functions which we'll discuss, but it will increase aldosterone, and aldosterone will reabsorb water and increase the blood pressure. So this is the function of JG cells. What is macula densa? So macula densa has cells which are present in distal convoluted tubule. And what are the function of these cells? They can detect sodium, the level of sodium at the level of distal convoluted tubule. And if the sodium level is low, then these cells can reabsorb sodium, which will more reabsorption of sodium, more retention of water, increase the blood pressure. Third is mesangial cells. So mesangial cells, they don't have any main function. They are basically specialized smooth muscle cells which are surrounding the glomerulus. They have some contractile ability, and sometimes they can change the surface area of the glomerular capillaries. Okay, we discussed about JG apparatus. Consists of JG cells, macula densa, mesangial cells. Function of the JG cell: secrete renin, increase aldosterone, basically detect blood pressure, reabsorption in the collecting tubule by ADH, aldosterone. Sorry. Macula densa, they can detect low sodium, and they also increase renin. Mesangial cell, also called Lasix cells, they can affect filtration as they have the ability to contract, which will decrease the glomerular surface area and decrease the glomerular filtration rate. Next is what is, because we are talking about filtration, so we have glomerulus, and glomerulus is surrounded by Bowman capsule. So these glomerulus has, if we look at the microscopy of glomerulus, it has basement membrane, glomerular basement membrane. It sits on the outer aspect of glomerular capillaries. It consists of endothelium, basement membrane, and podocyte. So endothelium is basically size barrier. It filters things based on their size. And then basement membrane is a charge barrier, mostly filter based on charge. So negative size albumin will not pass through basement membrane of the glomerulus. And then outermost layer is podocyte. So podocytes are also negatively charged, coating the limit, and they will not allow negatively charged molecule to pass through, specifically albumin. So if you look at the basement membrane in detail, it has 3 more layers: innermost layer, middle layer, and outer layer. If we talk about innermost layer, it can filter based on charge. Middle layer, it can filter based on size, and then outer layer filter based on charge too. So basement membrane has both charge and size function. It can filter based on charge and based on size too. When basement membrane is affected, in Goodpaster syndrome, glomerular basement membrane is affected. In nephrotic syndrome, and third is diabetes. Diabetic glomerulosclerosis, basement membrane will be affected. Let's look at this image. So this is glomerular basement membrane. So if we move from lumen towards outside, so lumen has endothelium, and endothelium you can see is fenestrated. So it can filter based on size. And then glomerular basement membrane, we discussed it has 3 layers. So inner layer towards the lumen, and then second I will draw middle layer in black, and then third layer is outer layer, which I draw again in red. So if we look at the inner layer, is called lamina rara interna. Middle layer is lamina densa. Outer layer is lamina rara externa. These 3 layers, they filter based on charge and size. And then outermost layer, you can see these podocytes, food processes called podocytes. These podocytes have negative charge, and they does not allow negative charge protein to pass through, that is albumin. Basement membrane will be affected in Goodpaster syndrome, in which this basement membrane lamina densa is commonly affected. Goodpaster syndrome can affect basement membrane. Nephrotic syndrome can affect basement membrane. Third is diabetic sclerosis can affect basement membrane. So now we know about the glomerulus.